Fellow Kenyans, welcome back to another episode of The Nationalist. I'm your host and analyst, Kennedy Abongo. Today, we are going to have pep talks on political trends of the week. The first one, these are issues that are raised by people. People call me to ask me, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? So I decided, okay, let us start this show, this segment, to give answers to those questions. Before we start, however, we'd like you to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. We'd like to know what you think about our videos and the topics you'd want us to cover. On to the first point of the political trend. The first question that I've been asked is, what is the implication of the walkout on Sakaja Johnson during his inauguration as the governor of Nairobi? Politics, things happen for a reason. That shows you that the fight ahead to control Nairobi County started on that particular day. And it also shows that Sakaja is not going to have a bumpy ride managing the county of Nairobi. I'm saying so because the County Assembly of Nairobi is fully controlled by Azimio. They're going to take the speakership position and the position of the majority leader. So Sakaja is really going to find it difficult to push his policies through the County Assembly, which would make Nairobi very difficult to govern for Governor Sakaja going forward. And it also means that he would have to do much more in swaying those MCAs to voting his way. As you know, politics is controlled by money. So Nairobi MCAs are set for a very, very lucrative deals from the governor of Nairobi. They're just not going to allow him to sit pretty and pass his laws and implement his policies as he wishes, considering that the county assembly is controlled by Azimio. Worst of all, Sakaja even risked being impeached if the assembly so decides, especially, as you know, the issue of his degree certificate is still alive and not a concluded matter. That may come up within the course of the next 5 years, and we may see Sakaja ousted out of office. The next political trend, the next question that I've been asked is to explain the implication of Wafula Chebukati expelling the 4 commissioners from the IEBC WhatsApp group. Well, this generally is just the politics of the commission. Chebukati is trying to take full control of the commission away from the 4 commissioners. He has identified the people who are in his corner. Commissioners Boyamulu and Commissioner Golier. Those are people who are in his corner. Therefore, he sees it as a strategy to kick out the 4 commissioners so that whatever discussion he may be having with the 3 commissioners is purely consumed by those 3 commissioners. The danger, however, about that is that it only shows to demonstrate, and if that will have reached the Supreme Court, that the war in the IBC, especially by the commissioners, the war that the commissioners, ongoing war between them, or amongst them, only shows that they were not in a better position to deliver credible elections, if I may say so. The third political trend of the day, the third question that I've been asked is, what is my view on Raila's call to UN Secretary General Gutierrez. And why did Raila have to tell the people of Kenya that he was called by the UN Secretary General? Again, as I say, Raila is trying to send a message to the people that he is more recognized internationally than Dr. William Ruto, and that important personalities such as Gutierrez would choose to call him and leave out Deputy President William Ruto. And that is why such a private message between him and Gutierrez, he had to make it clear that the people of Kenya know that he was called, not him calling, that he was called by Gutierrez. Such an important personality, picking a phone and calling Raila Odinga elevates him to a higher international level. It also shows that international community, when seeking to know the going-ons in Kenya, the first port of call is Raila Odinga. They recognize him, and it shows that they do not recognize the win of William Ruto, or rather, they have no position at all with respect to the just concluded presidential elections. Otherwise, we would have had a situation where they call both candidates. So international community was probably also trying to send a message that they are not really, they have not recognized any particular individual between Raila and Ruto as having won the election. But the fact that Raila brought it out to the public, it was intended for political profits, so that the people of Kenya would know that him alone commands the respect of the international community. Lastly, of the political trend, and this now goes specifically to the people of Nyanza, the Luo community. The question that they are asking: what is my view on Nyanza politicians decamping to Ruto's side? That is not an important question in my view. The question is, what is Ruto planning? Ruto is a smart politician. This is a man who outsmarted state machinery and has been taken to court on allegations that he colluded with the chairman of the IEBC to rig elections. That will be discussed in another episode, the issue of collusion. However, the fact that, or if it turns out that he indeed rigged elections and the entire state machinery, who are boisterous, people like Joe Mucheru, people like Matiang'i, and so on. How did Ruto outsmart all these people? So Ruto's plan is not in this election. The plan A of Ruto is going to ensure that he wins a rerun. That's number one. And not only winning a rerun, if at all that is called, or fresh elections, Ruto intends to have full control of the entire nation by 2027. He's going to have full control at the coast when Raila, if at all, the court finds that Ruto won the elections fairly. So Ruto's plan is not just for fresh elections. Ruto is planning for 2027. He wants us many on his side. And his next target, because he knows if the Supreme Court declares him as the valid winner, then his next target would be Nyanza. The best way to gain entry into Nyanza is to go through the disgruntled politicians in that region. And since Raila Odinga's time in politics is seemingly to be over, will never run for another presidential election, Ruto sees the Luo vote basket as his next farm to profit from. So Ruto is not planning for fresh elections per se. Ruto is planning for 2027, and that is why he's going for all those disgruntled politicians in Nyanza. That marks the end of our views on the trending topics of the day. Before we go, we would like again to remind you, kindly support us. Subscribe, leave a comment, share our videos. We really appreciate your contribution towards this end. Thank you very much.